Well, welcome everyone. It's going to be a Q&A time with Craig Stevens. And Craig has I'm going to say, master's degree around understanding structured water, alkalization, ionization, and the importance of, let's call it, hydrogenation. And I love the fact that it's intracellular hydration. So intracellular hydration has to do with structure, hydroxyl, hydrogen, which is the delivery system. Hydrogen is your shortcut to health. So Craig, I would like to have you, first of all, if you would, share the H2 fuel bottle for those that are traveling, as well as the H2 fuel.
So this bottle puts hydrogen back in the water. Hydrogen is the antioxidant property that you want in the water. Now, you can put just bottled water in it, but it's designed to use with our living water. It's a complementary unit. It does not create living water. It puts the hydrogen into living water because hydrogen comes out the fastest. So yes, you can put other waters in this, but I can't guarantee the quality that comes out. And it will only raise the pH a little bit of the hydrogen. That's why we want to start with our good water. And this is designed to carry with you away from your machine to recreate that super water like you're standing in front of the unit. It's amazing. And it's a real attention getter. I love this thing. And it's got a handle on it. It looks like a lantern from a sea lantern. I can do this and turn it on. And when you hit that button and it starts glowing blue, it's like a moth. It's like a moth getting attracted to a light.
Correct.
Somebody asked a question, Liddy. Hang on just a second. Somebody asked a question about filters. So let me just show you. Yes, our unit has filters, has 2 high quality filters that remove the sediment, the chlorine, the bad taste, all those things from the water. And they're you get the filters right from whoever you got the unit through or direct from our company. And they come in a set of 2. And there's even another filter you can get called a saline cartridge that you fill with salt pellets. And that allows you to make our super waters. Very simple to do. This fits right into one of the filter spots, just to let you know. So it makes our unit will make about 8 different pHs of water. All of them have a purpose. Go ahead with your questions now. Let's see what happened in the chat.
Craig, can you freeze water? And
No, let me just tell you, the unit, the unit's job is to break the water down like running water molecular structure. Let me go into hot and cold. Everyone asks about that. It's a great question. Your body is not designed to ingest hot or cold liquids. I don't care what you have done your whole life. Cold water and hot water will not pass out of the gut wall. I don't care how small you make the water, like ours comes out microclustered, goes through a tea bag. But as soon as you make it cold or chill it, the stomach cannot let it pass. Here's why. Think of when we eat an ice cream or something cold and it gets on our brain and we get brain freeze. Oh my God, oh, and you're like, oh. Well, that's because we're passing that cold straight up to our brain, right through the roof of our mouth. Well, when you drink cold or hot, what happens is the stomach will seal. It will not let it enter the bloodstream, and blood will flow around your stomach to warm it up or cool it down. So as boring as it sounds, you have to drink the water at the temperature it comes out. You just keep it right in the glass and watch. I drink out a sealed bottle because when I flip it, there's the hydrogen again. It's the hydrogen comes out into the air, but as long as I seal the bottle and do that, and I'll use an example, folks. It's the same as if I have leftover soda in that bottle, I seal the lid and I flip it, and it'll pressurize the bottle, and that soda will stay. I'm using this for my test, but same example would be the pressure in here and it will stay from coming out and won't go flat, right? So that's the key. So you do not want to freeze this water, because think about that. Water is super unique. You can boil it and go so small to go into the air, or you can freeze it solid and everything in between. So what it's designed to go in our body, because our body will go into hypothermia or hyperthermia. That means too hot or too cold. If your body would allow cold to pass through it, you could kill yourself by drinking cold enough water. So what happens is you drink that water and your body slows down and tries to warm it up. So there's the key. Drink it at the temperature. It's like juicing. You would never take fresh juice, make it, and then put it in the fridge because it just destroys it. It's going to oxidize. You want to drink it. When you make it, you drink it. Same with ours. You make it, you want to drink it. If you have to take it to work, you put it in the H2 fuel and put the hydrogen back in and it's ready to go. But I always drink at room temperature, 2 gallons a day, guys, 20 of these. 12, 20-ounce bottles. That's 240 ounces of water. Go down my gullet every day. I'll be 62 years old in July. I weigh the same as I did when I graduated high school in 1978, and I can keep up with my kids and my grandkids. So if that's not working for you right now, you're not keeping up with anybody, hardly yourself. You might want to try getting this water in you and make it fresh and drink it fresh, because that's what it's designed to do. No freezing, no heating. By the way, coffee and tea are diuretics. So if you have a cup of coffee, it's not helping you rehydrate. And by the way, let me show you, if you don't think you dehydrate overnight, just breathe on a mirror. Every exhale at night when you're sleeping is moisture coming out of your body. So the first thing in the morning, you should be drinking water. I drink 40 ounces of water first thing in the morning, and I go right to cruising altitude. And then you sip it the rest of the day long, and it keeps you right up at cruising altitude. And for athletes, you'll find out why. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. When you hydrate, your lungs stay hydrated. They won't burn. You don't hit the wall. I played water polo. I swam. I ran, a champion runner, martial artist, and boxer. I just love being active. And I wish I had this technology when I was doing that, because I could have been even a better athlete. So go ahead with the next question.
Craig, yes,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
do have coaches and athletes
Yes.
on the call. Would
Yeah.
you speak to that and how it is that you are able to approach some of those teams and their response? Thank you.
Yeah. So when you talk different sizes of water, I introduced it to a few professional football teams, like the formerly known as the Redskins. You know how you get them to try something? You just tell them the Cowboys want to try it first, and then they want to try it. It was funny. They laughed me out of their building, but they let me hook the machine up. And then 2 weeks later, they called me and said, "Wow, we love this. Can the Jets try it?" And then the Jets tried it, and they laughed me out of the building. But 2 weeks later, they said, "Can the Chiefs try it?" Yeah, champion, world champion football teams. So how do you get athletes interested? You let them drink it. If you're an athlete right now, you know who Muscle Farm is. That's a letter from Muscle Farm. That's one of the highest level training facilities in the world in Dallas, Texas, raving about our water machine and our air units, but our water. They had to put in 3 of them because the line was too long. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. It's super hydrating. It will not stay in the gut, which means that's how you get boxers to do it. Here's ESPN. That's Disney writing a letter about using our water machine at the X Games. I've got these letters for you coaches. Whoever invited you can give you a letter. This is a letter from the trainer of the Reds, the Pirates, the Rangers, the Royals, 2 letters from their training staff, the Tigers, the Blue Jays, the Rockies, the Nationals, the Marlins, the Cardinals. I mean, it's unbelievable, the interest, because it works. So you don't get athletes by convincing them by talking, coaches or athletes out there. You let them try it and let them tell us. The difference is full hydration, not this partial, and no additives, no gluconate, no poison, Gatorade. Oh my God, Gatorade makes our 10 pH water go to 3 pH in seconds after you pour the powder in. Same with Crystal Light, forget it. This water comes out so naturally delicious that you just drink it right down. You don't need additives for this. Any additives you put in destroys it. Go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
Craig, I want to actually ask you one more question.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
shared a testimonial of a gentleman that stopped by your booth and drank some water who was an athlete. Would you speak to that?
Yes. So that was Gary Russell Jr. If you look him up, he was the world champion WBC for 6 years and 10 months long. That's him in the H2 fuel bottle. That's his brothers, also professional boxers. Gary walked up about 5 months after he won the belt back in 2015 to my table, just like this. I had at the show. And he said, "I'm the world champ at 126 WBC. why would I drink this water? I said, do you drink water between rounds? No, no boxer drinks water between rounds. You can't have water in your belly. So I challenged him. So he drank 6 16-ounce cups. That's almost 100 ounces of water, just under 100 ounces, right in front of his dad, who's his trainer, manager, and father, right? His dad's like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm going to prove this guy's full of it. And after he drank 100, now he's 5'3.5", coaches out there, 5'3.5", weighs about 132 to 135 when he's not cut down to weight. He drank 100 ounces of water. A minute or two later, he jumped up and down. Then he hit himself in the stomach and looked at his dad and said, there's no water in my belly. And his dad went just like this. He didn't have to know anything except for watch his world champion boxing son. Now, I'll tell you, he just lost his belt about 2 months ago. If you watch the fight, he actually injured himself because his dad had lost his foot to diabetes and in the hospital. So he had to train himself for the last 2 months before the fight. Gary injured his right shoulder. He's left-handed, but he's normally a 35. He throws 35 jabs a round average. He's in a 12-round fight, and he only lost the fight by 4 points total out of 3 judges. Total 4 points. He almost won the fight by just having his left hand working. So this guy is amazing. And so if you're an athlete, get this water in your body. That natural anti-inflammatory part means if you're a runner or anything like that, if you run, you can run drinking the water. Soccer, basketball, where you can't have a belly full of water. This water will not stay in your belly. When you drink it, it immediately passes into the bloodstream where it hydrates your body. It gets oxygen flowing. So that's my athlete story. I've got a bunch of them where I met world champion MMA boxers. I've got bodybuilders, martial artists, everybody. Why? Because I let them try the water. I don't have to convince anybody. We just let them try it.
What is the name of that machine?
It's the LivingWater Machine by Vollara, and it's the silver unit right back there. And it screws on to any faucet anywhere in the world. Anywhere where you have safe water coming out of a faucet, even a garden hose faucet, you can hook it right on, plug it in, fire it up, and it'll make super water, and it'll make the same consistent quality anywhere you hook it up in the world, because it's just converting the water into this super water, alkalized, ionized, micro-clustered. That's the 3 things that it does to the water. It's amazing. And we've got letters, like I said, whoever invited you tonight to the call can show you the letters. They're in our back office. They're amazing. And these are from the trainers raving about things. Read the Blue Jays letter. Read the Blue Jays letter. One of the coach's son was autistic. He started taking the water home, and he raved about how it helped his son. I'm not going to say anything beyond that, but just read the one. So there's 2 letters, I think, from the Blue Jays. Read the letters. And this is a professional trainer talking about how it helped his son. His son had recently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. He has many challenges, including the higher susceptibility to pesticides, toxins, airborne pollutants. I'm currently using the surround and the LivingWater home daily for him to drink, noticing a phenomenal difference in his son. It's autistic. This water is a miracle water. You put it in people's bodies and just watch it change. We don't have to take credit for it. This is God's water. This is living water. When you put it in your body, it works. And why does it work more than stagnant water? Because I don't know about you, but if you have the choice between fresh made anything, you want week old bread or fresh bread? I'll take the fresh bread anytime.
So Craig, there's a question. Someone
Yes.
that you spoke about last week about the benefits for autoimmune deficiency and brain trauma.
Yes. So Dr. Corinne Allen, Corinne Allen, Allen. She's in Idaho. She's one of the top brain specialists in the world. And it's interesting. I don't know if you know this, but Jim Carrey, when he was married to Jenny McCarthy, her son was autistic. Jim Carrey bought a structured water machine for every autism center in the country. My daughter-in-law, my son's wife, has lupus. Every lupus center in the United States has a structured water machine. Every Crohn's center in the United States has a structured water machine. Why? Ask them. Because they get results in the body when somebody, high blood pressure, all these things. We don't get into, we just let people try the water. And it's like at A&B, it's like the old Folgers crystals. We've replaced Liddy's regular coffee with Folgers crystals. In other words, we're replacing, we say, change your water, change your life. That's exactly what you want to do. Try something different, because whatever you're doing now may not be working. And there's no reason to drink something. If I drink a bottle of water like this and 90% of it goes in the toilet, that is not hydration, that's suicide. That is dehydration. Let's try and get something in our body that actually hydrates it, folks. That is where the real magic starts to happen.
So, Craig, one of the questions is, are there any health problems that would keep you from drinking the water? Heart problems, diabetes, someone taking lasix?
Yeah, so lasix, why they give you lasix is because that's large fluid, softball fluid. Our water actually pushes that fluid out of the joints, from around the heart. But yes, you do. One thing you don't do is take our water with pharmaceuticals. Yes, you can drink the water around your pill taking. So if you're taking a pharmaceutical in the morning or in the afternoon or at night, you wait 20 or 30 minutes without drinking our water. Then you take the pill with number 7, which is that's non-microclustered, the number 7 water. And then you wait about 20 or 30 minutes. Now you can drink all the water you want. All pharmaceuticals are done with tap water as their standard. So if you drink our water with it, it'll take 1 aspirin and it speeds it into the system too fast. Athletes, you'll find the same thing with your supplements. That Mo Shiraz, the guy I showed you, the bodybuilder, Mo, that I introduced to the water, this guy used to take $500 a month worth of supplements to get to look like that. He now takes about $200 or $250 worth because he cut his supplements in half because he was getting such a response when he took them. He was like, wow, he had to start lowering them. You'll find the same thing if you make coffee or tea with it. Of course, they're diuretics, so be careful. You don't want to drink too many diuretics because you're not really hydrating yourself then. But yes, you can still use our water. When they limit your water intake, they're talking about tap water. They're talking about regular bottled or tap water. So follow your doctor's instructions, but try to drink a ½ ounce per pound of your body weight of water, but very slowly. If you're on a restricted water, then you want to sift the water all day long. You don't want to chug it. That way it has a chance to push through your system, get all that large fluid out. You'll be amazed at, I've seen people with swollen ankles, in athletes too, just the swelling starts to go down because that's 30 weight oil in the winter, which won't work in your engine. You're drinking from our machine is 2050. It's much smaller. It'll penetrate better, and it actually gets to the skin. I had surgery when I was 4, heart surgery. I have a scar from here to my shoulder blade, 100 stitches. That scar, until I started drinking this water 13 years ago, could be seen from across a football field. It was that dark, different from my skin. Now it's the same. You can't tell I have a big giant scar across my back because it's the same color as my skin. The only way to repair skin is carry the nutrients out from what you're drinking straight out to the skin. And that's what this water does. It travels from your belly to your blood, to your lungs, to your brain. Then it goes out to your eye, your skin, which is your largest organ in your body. If you want to truly hydrate your skin, you've got to drink water that can get out of your gut wall. And that's the living water. That's the purpose of our water.
All right.
The water coming out of the machine, is it hydrogen infused?
Yes. So what it's doing is we're splitting oxygen. Let me show you again. We're splitting the oxygen from the H2O, of course. H2O looks like that. We're taking some of the oxygen and it goes down this lower hose right here. That's the oxygen one. We're putting more hydrogen in the top because you remember what pH stands for? Potential hydrogen. So remember when we're talking a pH scale, we're talking about moving. You find it there, if I can see where I stashed it. So the more hydrogen in the water, the more alkaline it is. The more oxygen in the water. Let's get it back out just so everyone understands. pH, potential hydrogen. Neutral is 7. You start splitting off oxygen and increase the hydrogen, you're going to go up in pH. That's why natural water is all white. It's hydrogen that's bound in the water. But if you start going the other direction and adding oxygen, you're going to go acidic, right? So that's what we're doing. We're taking tap water, blowing out some of the oxygen down the lower hose, and we're adjusting it to go up to 8.5, 9, 9.5. And we're raising it that way. So it's done naturally. Remember, that's done chemically. All this water is filtered tap water with baking soda in it. So they're using chemicals. That's why it'll stay stable on the shelf for years. If you want to sit this bottle there, ours is doing it naturally with hydrogen. That's the key. So yes, it's hydrogenated water, alkalized, ionized, microclustered.
So
Go
Craig,
ahead.
here's
Yes,
another
ma'am.
question.
Yep.
Asteria was asking, can structure water, we can't make any claims, but heal seizures. Have you ever heard of anyone getting relief from having seizures drinking this water?
Let me just tell you, all we do is let people drink it. And then when they come back and tell me their miracle story, I tell them to go talk to their doctor. I'm not kidding. Because I don't know, none of us want to get in trouble making medical claims. We're not a medical device, but the water is pretty interesting. 13 years. Let me list the things that I've seen responses to where I just send them to their doctor. Remember, go to your doctor. Lyme's disease, high blood pressure, autism, anything with the brain, from Alzheimer's to ADHD to autism to Asperger's. I've seen just miracles happen. And how do I know it was the water, even though I don't make the claim? Because when they go back to trying whatever they were doing before, it creeps right back because they're not hydrating their brain tissue. The only water that will fit through the blood-brain barrier is not softball-sized water. It's structured running water. That's it. God intended for us to drink out of running water. That's why all major cities in history were near running sources of water, fresh, refreshed, daily, running right past you. Nobody lived on ponds, but we all live out of pond water now if we live in a city. That pond water, they put chlorine in it, lye in it, send it to your pipes. No wonder why nobody's that healthy. Then we kick all that out, raise the hydrogen level, and make it into super water.
Craig, I have a question. So you said, don't put anything in
ma'am.
the water, like powders, even if they're healthy powders, like vitamin C powder or Revive.
No, well, Revive. See, there's the caveat. So when I was at the Redskins, now known as the Commanders, that was the first team I was able to go talk to, and they let me right in the door. No PhD. I have a high school diploma and 2 years of junior college and no degree. And I'm in there talking with head trainers of professional football teams. Why? Because I got the LivingWater Machine. That's why. So when I put a meter in there in the water, it said 10 pH and it was minus 500 antioxidant, full of life-giving hydrogen, right? As soon as Crystal Light or any of those powders hit the water, the meter went from 10 to 3, 700 times more acidic, just like that. And then when I flipped it over to the ORP, that negative or positive number, positive will be oxygenated or acidic, and negative will be hydrogen. It went from minus 500 to plus 500. They couldn't believe it. I go, you're not putting this poison in your professional athletes, are you? Not anymore. Not anymore.
But that's Crystal Light. We know that's poison. But like,
well, Gatorade, Crystal Light, whatever. Well, you just have to test it. I have a meter. Let me show you what I have. I have a meter. I can find it here. Yeah, I have a meter. It's called a Hanometer. It does both pH and it'll do pH and it'll do ORP. What is ORP? Oxidation reduction potential. That shows whether it's got oxygen or hydrogen, or if it's neutral, 0, right? So oxygen is a plus number, positive, and hydrogen is a negative number, antioxidant. And you can measure it with a meter. So if you put one of these into anything, that's how we test it. Put it in and it's beautiful 10 pH water out of our machine, and you go, wow, and it's minus 500, Lori, and then you pour whatever it is you want to test in there, and they go, now what I like about this one is it can be put in any liquid. I can drop this into a beer, which is usually about 4.5 pH and very oxidated because it's full of CO2, right? And so we can drop it into any liquid and you can see whether it's something you should be drinking or not. I'm not saying you can't have a cup of coffee or whatever you want to do, but remember, remember what the acid response is. 1 cup of soda requires the same cup size 30 times over just to counteract it, to neutralize it. So just be careful. I'm not here to tell you what to do.
What's that brand, people?
Hanna, Hanna. It's called the Hanna. It's an ORP / pH, ORP meter, and temperature of the water. by Hannah. They're like $180, but I'll tell you what, I love it because that fits in my pocket. And I can, so if somebody's drinking something and they claim, oh, this is fine. I pour an inch into a cup, put this meter in there, swirl it around, and it shows me exactly what I show them and I go, it's like that. So there's the key. Now remember, wine is different. Wine is actually a food. Wine is digestible. It's a grape, right? So with wine, like if people drink wine, now there's alcohol content, of course, but wine is more food related. Whereas these other things like beer is, water with hops, and then it's got carbonation in it. That's where you run into trouble. That carbonic acid wrecks everything. Now, let me answer your question for you. Carbonic acid, carbonation, those bubbles, they destroy the digestive enzymes starting in your mouth, all the way down your throat and into your stomach and digestive system. They kill the ability to digest food. So whoever sold us carbonation way back when in the 1910, 1920, I mean, that's poison. It literally kills your ability to digest food. If you like carbonated stuff, that may be the reason why you're having some health challenges. Try getting rid of the carbonation and get something that's got hydrogen in it rather than carbonic acid, and watch what it does. But I just never liked carbonation because I didn't like what it meant, the taste in my mouth. That was the carbonation, the bubbles killing my digestive enzymes. So if you want to just have food not rot in your gut because what you're drinking kills the ability to digest it, hey, more power to you. But I like the fact that I can eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day because I'm drinking the super water. I burn it, use it, and get rid of it. So I'm way within a few pounds of what I graduated high school at in 1978, 180 pounds. That was my water polo weight, my running weight, and everything. And I weigh that. Why? Because I'm flushing all the bad stuff out of my body. This water detoxifies you with every cup, especially if you know anybody going through chemotherapy. You want to get chemo needs to go in and do its work. We don't want it floating around the body too long because it'll kill everything. I mean, people who get a lot of chemo done, like my family, your teeth fall out, your hair fall out, you get all ashen gray skin because the longer it stays in the body, the longer it starts to go after things that weren't supposed to be gotten out of your body. So remember, we don't have to make claims. We let people try the water. If they get results, we have them go talk to their doctor. Wait till you see what it does with people with osteoporotic conditions like brittle bone. And if they're getting bone density tests, all you have to do is let them try the water. And if they're going every month and getting a bone density and that starts getting better and better and better, well, they'll let the doctor tell them it's getting better and better and better. We don't do that. All we do is say, is your life better every day with living water at your disposal to drink it by the bottle every day, or what you were doing before? And I'll tell you what, here's I go, I will not drink anything else but this water. I even take the machine with me. And everyone in my family has one, guys. I bought everyone in my family one. So when I go visit them, it's already there. I don't have to carry it in the plane anymore like you used to have to do with mine.
I have another question. How about plants? Do the plants like it?
Oh yeah, my favorite thing, plants. Our unit makes 8 different pHs of water. Every plant has a different pH. Most of them like 5.5 because that's more rainwater-ish. But anybody that grows plants, they just have to look up online, whatever type of plant, and it'll tell a pH range, and they just press the button because our unit makes 8 different pHs. Press the button closest to that pH, and you watch the plant just thrive like crazy because plants don't. Let me give you an example. Animals, oh my God. So we don't give animals, and we're not supposed to give animals people water. Animals are used to running natural water. So I got a guy right now, he gave his older dog, he had a 16-year-old dog and a 8-year-old dog. Both of them had problems. And then he put the water down and they drank more water in the first setting than he'd never seen the animals drink. And now they're running around after each other like puppies. So animals react to this water phenomenally well.
Yes. You know what? I gotta get up and go to church because I get in this feeling to go to church and I get in this urge.
I'm looking.
Church, so I gotta get up and go.
Go ahead, Lori.
Got it. I got it. All right. And what was the other question? Somebody asked about hemp. Hemp?
Yeah. So I have a hemp grower out in California that I know that grows hemp and marijuana legally for dispensaries. So he asked about it. So he bought a water machine. The guy called me back about a month later and said, "You know how much money you're making us?" Why? He was getting a 15 or 20% higher yield just by putting the proper pH on the plants. And that means any plant, indoor or outdoor. Stop putting 7 pH faucet water on plants. They don't like it. They don't want to be alkaline. They want to be slightly acidic. It protects. That's why indoor plants get molds and funguses growing on them, because we're giving them 7 pH water, which has chemicals in it. That's why the plants die. You start feeding them the good water, and it's amazing what happens. Plants, animals, people. Doesn't really matter which way you do it, but it's amazing water. And like I said, the sprayer with the 5.5, a burn, a cut, anything, any itching skin. I've had people with poison ivy, just blistery, these keep spraying the 5.5, which is the toner. That's this button right here, right below number 7 is, they call it toner or beauty water, right? 5.5. You spray it externally and it soothes it like you put solar cane on, like sunburn especially. If somebody gets badly sunburned, they just spray the 5.5 and it soaks in. It's for burn victims. That's what they use it for in the hospitals. They put gauze over somebody and put 5.5 and it soaks right in, because 5.5 pH is the same as your eyeball, your skin, your hair. And women, when you see a commercial that says feminine hygiene products that say pH balanced, that means they're 5.5. They're rainwater pH, not tap water pH. Tap water is not good for women, especially insides, because the insides of women are supposed to be slightly acidic to control it. So if you know anybody with a lot of urinary tract infections or yeast infections, have them try drinking our water, and then they can use 5.5 on that, and all of a sudden things change. And like I said, I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm just going to say things change, that if they change enough, they should talk to their doctor about it, because they'll notice big differences. So we market our machine on healthy water. What does that mean? It's different for every person that drinks it. But the more you drink, do not play with this water. Do not play with it. The more you drink, the more the water takes you seriously. If you take the water seriously, it takes you. When I hear somebody, it's not working, how much are you drinking? Oh, I had 3 cups of water today. Oh, really? Wow, 3 cups. Imagine that. How about 240 ounces like I do? Wait, what? A gallon a day is about what you're supposed to be doing. It's about 1 ounce per pound of body weight if you can do it, half an ounce minimum. And if you'll take it seriously, especially in the first week, we ask people to just give up everything else, drink our water as much as they can drink, all from morning till night, and watch what happens. The detox is very strong. That's why we start off at 8.5, because it's a lower level detox. Because if you start at 9 or 9.5, your body will go, oh, Liddy, did you want everything bad that's in you out today? No, I don't want to do that. So it's a very slow level detox at 8.5. And then after about a week of drinking a gallon a day, you work to 9, wait about a week, and if you have no strong detox. So that's how we do it. We are not a medical device. So we use the water to have people drink it and then give us feedback on the difference. And if it's something that has to do with a condition they have that they're being treated for, we have them go talk to their doctor. But I'll tell you what, 13 years, thousands of people, I have seen just miracles happen. So that's what I can call it, miracles. And our goal is let everyone try it. If it doesn't float their boat, great, thanks for trying it. If it changes their whole life like it did my family, then guess what? I think we're all going to be drinking it. By the way, my teenage sons drink only water, no energy drinks, no sodas, no Gatorade. They will not. They love this stuff. If I try to fake them, Liddy, sometimes I'll put some different water in the bottle that I give them, and they'll just taste it and spit it out and go, nice try, Dad. They can tell the difference between our living water and anything else just by taking one sip, and they'll go, nope, that's not the good stuff. They know it. Because once you drink this, you'll never go back to drinking anything else that's inferior water.
Craig?
Yes.
One of the comments, which I think contains a question maybe, is that we have a whole house filtration system recommended not to use to water plants.
Right.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to use drink water that's not recommended also for plants, but I'm not sure what their question is there.
Well, let me tell you why they said that, Steve. RO, reverse osmosis water, and distilled is dead water. That's what the Japanese call it. You can take everything you want out of water, because if it removes the minerals, your body is a battery. Your brain is a battery. And if you remove the minerals, those electrolytes from the water, it's really bad. You can short circuit, start going like, right? That's the key with this. So what a lot, they'll bring the tap water to one section. A lot of places they can get a hold of the tap water, hook the machine up there. Because here's what it does. Besides filtering the water, all the bad stuff that might be left over goes down that positively charged. So all the bad stuff that you don't want to go in your body is the positively charged stuff. So it all goes down the oxygen hose. That top hose has all the negatively charged, which is all the good stuff that your body wants to absorb into it. So we have not only the filters, but the unit itself is splitting that water. The good stuff comes out the top hose. The lower hose has the things that you wouldn't ingest. Although it will make an oxygen water, Steve, that's so high in oxygen content that it will demolish anything biologic that it touches within 60 seconds. Why is that important? I got rid of all my chemicals, folks. My machine, if I put this saline cartridge in, which you can get from Vollara, it uses salt pellets, just like a soft water system. You fill it full. It replaces the middle position filter. And when I run that, I can make a cleaner degreaser that will get all the grease and oil off your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat engine. Will just fall off. You can also use it to take pesticides, oil base off of your food, and I can make it. And I can make a water that smells like Clorox coming out of the hose, but I'm just making it with salt and our water machine. It's amazing. So I'm making it, it's safe. I don't drink it, but you can gargle with it. You can put it on a cut. You can soak your feet for athlete's foot and toe fungus. That's what a lot of the teams use it for. They soak their feet. Why I have the big cartridge is because I want to make it, and if I want to put it in a spray bottle, I can actually spray it like a business that's spending thousands of dollars a month extra now on a bunch of chemicals to spray on their gym equipment. No, you can just make it, put it in a spray bottle for my machine, and now you're not spending thousands of dollars. You're just converting tap water into this water that smells like Clorox, and you can sterilize whatever you want to spray it on. And that's called our saline, refillable saline cartridge. The lid comes off, and there's the pellets, the salt pellets right there. And you can get that right from Vollara when you get the machine. And then we can show you how to make the two super alkaline water, which is a cleaner degreaser. It'll actually emulsify oil. If you put oil in water, it'll emulsify it, turn it into foam. It's amazing. Yeah.
So I have another question, Craig.
Yes, ma'am.
How would you compare this to the more expensive Kangen? We know that the Kangen is,
Yep, I have three. I still consider Kangen the gold standard, but that means it costs a lot of gold to get it. You know why? There's a lot of platinum in it. So the reason ours is different, number one, we don't use plates like everybody else does. The Kangen has plates in it. This is the SD501. They used to be $4,000. When I bought three of them, they were $4,000 each. But now they're $5,500 each. And I'm not bashing the Kangen. I'm just telling you the difference. We use what's our patent, direct disc ionization. We don't have to have 7 plates that are surgical grade platinum coated titanium. A lot of money, right? So what ours does is it's got a disc in there, and the disc acts the same. It's got a positive and negative, and as the water passes over like a water wheel, it splits the water, right? Here's the problem with the Kangen. Our filter set, it costs about $60. Theirs is $150 out the door. $150 to change their filter every 3,000 gallons. Ours is around $60. So there's the difference there. They cannot use salt pellets. They use a liquid saline. 2 problems that I found. If you put the liquid cartridge in, fill it, and lay the machine on its back, you just voided the warranty of your $5,500 water device. Why? Because that's a liquid. It gets inside the machine and starts chewing it up. It's a saline solution. Just ruins the inside of the machine. Ours is solid. So if you want to make a lot of their super waters with the Kangen, you have to buy a bunch of these 6-packs, bottles of this liquid. And if you don't use the liquid, it voids the warranty of the machine anyway. Here's what the good news. Kangen and LivingWater, they're the only 2 machines on the market that have no limit to the amount of water you can put through it daily. All the other ones out there, Tyant, Jupiter, I've seen them all. If you look in their warranty, it says you can't run more than 3 to 5 gallons a day through the machine or it voids the warranty. Ours, and Kangen, you can run these teams run hundreds of gallons a day through ours, 20 igloos filled up a day from the coaches, right? That's 100 gallons of water, maybe even that 40 of them, 200 gallons of water. And so there's the key. The Kangen, like I said, you've already got the cost. It's twice the cost of ours retail. The filters are 3 times more money. You have to buy their special saline solution. You have to clean them because they have stand-up plates. Those plates get dirty really fast because they're stand-up. Ours is a disc. We have a self-cleaning mode like they do, and our cleaning procedure once a year. And guys, if you want to compare them, we have a built-in ORP meter. I'll show you. If you press the button over here, minus 400, minus 320, minus 240, minus 160. That's an ORP meter built into our machine. They don't have that with the $5,500 one. And there's a life right here. This is the how many liters I put through the machine. When you get to 10,000, you change it. There is no meter on a Kangen machine. So I'm not bashing them. They're great machines. The problem is they don't have a pricing structure that you and I can get one for every member of our family. There's no way to do that with the Kangen. I own 3 of them. I gave them to my family members because they're awesome machines. The problem is I'm not marketing them because when I talk to people, that's an affordable machine that makes structured water, but because it's not a medical device, I don't have to get into the $5,500 range. I don't have to spend $150 a filter change. I don't have to buy their stupid saline liquid to make it. And so there's the key is the difference is the water is comparably the same, but the price is just out of this world for theirs. And so I'm just not interested in marketing that. I want everyone to own one of these. And you can't do that when your machine costs the same as a really good used car does. So that's the difference. But you'll never hear me bash the Kangen water. It's phenomenal. But side by side, I couldn't get anybody to tell the difference, including the professional teams like the Yankees and the Cowboys and all these different professional teams that have it. They all tested the Kangen out too, but they didn't like the liquid part. They didn't like, because they make a lot of the super waters. They didn't like that whole thing. They liked ours. Solid salt pellets you can get for $10, you can get a 40-pound bag of salt pellets from Home Depot and make so much of the super water that you could just make, you can make it every day. So there's the difference between the two. And a lot of people want to buy a Kangen, but they can't afford one. They just cannot afford it. They'll try water and they'll drink it all the time, but they will not buy one because the price structure is just too high. Go ahead with another question.
Okay.
What is the weight?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can we get this in the back office?
What's that?
Can we get the equipment in the back office of our website? Can we purchase it through our website on the back office?
Which equipment are you talking about?
The water, what we're talking about.
The water machine is there. It's under water, and there's either one or a 2-pack of them, and the H2 fuel right next to it. I recommend get an H2 fuel if you get the water machine, because that's the one that recharges. And make sure you go under water, where it says water. You have two things. Go under the one below it. That's the water supplies. And you go on the second page, and it doesn't have a picture, but it's called the refillable saline cartridge. Get that, because and then you can make the super waters, because there's no reason to own this machine unless you can make all 8 of the waters. Because if you don't get this, you can only make 6 of the waters. Why would I want to have the most value? The more you use it for cooking, drinking, cleaning, sterilizing, all those things, the more you use it. I can sterilize my bottles. You can fill the super sterilizing water in this bottle and it'll kill any bad stuff in it, scrub it out, refill it with the good stuff, and you're back in business. So that's the good news. But get the refillable saline cartridge under water supplies, the water machines in the back office, and then you want to get the H2 fuel so that you can recharge the water. If you're away from the machine, it makes it just like you're standing in front of the machine. But I always recommend people get this. It's a very inexpensive item to get with the machine.
The water dispenser that you're using, we can get that also too, right?
Which water dispenser?
The one you just showed as far as being able to carry with us when we go around.
You're talking
That
which one?
Yes.
It's right next to the water machine is the H2 fuel. That goes with it. I would get it. This is a complimentary unit to the H2, to the Living Water. It's the H2 fuel unit.
So,
Yeah, Craig, if you got a water machine, I mean, if you got a water softener on your house,
Yep.
how does that, does that have any effect to anything? A lot of people have the water softeners on their.
Yeah, two things. As long as there's not so much salt in it that it would taste bad, you can do that. But some people will have a line that goes around the water softener and brings that water straight in to just run through the water machine itself. There's a way to do that. I mean, it's not very hard to do. It's one single line over to whatever faucet you're going to put it at and do it. Well, let me answer the salt question, folks. People get on these limited salt diets. Let me remind everybody, all humans and animals on the planet require 4 things daily to live. Air, you can't even go 3 minutes without that or you're dead. Water, good quality water, hopefully. Salt and potassium. That's it. You do those 4 things every day, you can stay alive for a month without eating, but you cannot survive even a day without those 4 things.
Craig,
Air, water,
Craig, my water softener is in my basement, and I got a plumber coming next week to switch over to change out my sink and change out my faucet sort of fit the machine. My water softener is all the way down in the basement.
Right.
Should I plan for him to run a separate line from the basement up to my sink?
Right straight up. Yeah, right straight up to under your sink, and then you can connect it. And the reason is you don't need that. The soft water is designed to keep hardening from happening in like your shower faucets and your other faucets. But if you bring a line straight up that's dedicated to the machine, it'll work a lot better and make better water when it's not already pre-softened through your water softening system.
Powerful. Thank you.
No problem.
Craig,
Yes.
the living water does not remove fluoride. Is that correct?
Well, there's the funny part. Fluoride, there's 2 types of fluoride. You want to know what the fluoride they put in water is? It's sodium fluoride. That's the byproduct of making aluminum. Guess what? They just dump it into our water system saying it's good for you. No, it's not. That's not natural fluoride. So our unit will leave natural fluoride alone. There are natural fluorides in water, but it will not let that sodium fluoride pass through. It either catches it in our filters or it dumps it out that positively charged water side, not the hydrogen side. So sodium fluoride, it's a joke. That is not good for your teeth. That's poison. And it's a byproduct of making aluminum. Look it up. I'm not telling you a story.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
up. Yeah, that's it. And so don't worry about that, because remember what I said, the water after it's filtered, and these are high level filters we have in the unit, but even if something gets past it, then it goes down the oxygen hose. Anything positively charged, which you don't want. Why do we want negative charge in our body, right? Antioxidant, what does that mean? Antioxidant attracts free radicals to it and it drags them out of the body kicking and screaming. That's the precursor to cancer, is free radicals. So if you want to starve cancer cells, you give it water that's antioxidant, antiacid, and no sugar. That's what it does. And the free radicals don't get a chance to start up. In Japan, they call the water from the Kangen machine chemotherapy in a cup. So here we just say you're drinking the same type of structured water that's alkalized, ionized, or microclustered. So anybody you know that's having a bout with cancer, it can't hurt them. As a matter of fact, I've noticed some, we've had some really good results through doctors looking at the results after people drink it. So it can't hurt to have them drinking this super water. As a matter of fact, the sooner you find out they're having a problem, and the better. This is just what we call healthy water. And the healthier the water that absorbs in your body, the better for your body. And that's the thing. It's living water is biblically referenced, I think, 16 times. It's considered like Garden of Eden water, like a natural source water. So why wouldn't I want to put that in my body? I don't want to put junk in my body. Garbage in, garbage out, folks.
Craig, there's a comment about 5,000 liters before changing. You say about 3,000. I believe it's 10,000 liters.
10,000 liters is about 3,000 gallons. It's just underneath 3,000. So 3.8 liters per gallon, right? That's what the exchange is, 3.8 liters to the gallon. If you do have a machine or get it, you'll notice there's a liters per minute, which is not on a Kangen either. I mean, I don't know why they got this Rolls-Royce machine, but it has no ORP meter built in. It doesn't show you how much is going through it. It just says clean it says clean the machine or something. It talks, right? So it says clean the machine. You're like, oh, change the filter change, right? So 10,000 liters is 1 year, or 10,000 liters is the time when you change the filter set. And there's a 1 hour cleaning you do. And I'll show you, we get a cleaning bucket. Let me show it to you. You buy this once. It's a bucket that's got a pump in it, and it's got a solution that we get that comes with the first one. That's our citric acid solution. And we're circulating it through the machine for an hour. Then we put the new filters in. We flush it out, put the new filters in, and that thing is like brand spanking new even after running. I mean, 10,000 liters is a lot of water, guys. And we imagine if a team is doing 100 gallons a day, in a month, that's 3,000 gallons of water. So they're doing this about once a month. And so, but they want to keep it running at the highest level. So there's the key. Go ahead with questions.
I'm looking. Okay. Okay, someone asked this question. As far as you know, is water okay for dialysis patients or kidney transplanters?
Well, here's the problem. If somebody tells you don't drink water, then they're telling you die. I mean, literally. Hey, Lori, just don't drink any water for the next few days, and then we'll bury you. Because so this water, they're talking regular water. Remember, the only thing they've got is tap water. That's all they know, or filtered water, which is not microclustered. This water recreates guys, look this up. Glacial milk. It's in the Himalayas, and the people are called the HUNS, the Huns. They're the most studied people in the world. Their average lifespan is 125 years old up there in the old mountains. When they drink this water, when they reach into it, it's so full of minerals. It's called glacial milk. Once you dip your hands in, you see your hands. It's that rich, and it's about 9.5 pH, and it's got all these minerals, and they drink it. And when these people die, they die of old age, but they still have their hair, their teeth, their eyesight, their hearing, right? That's why this water was created. It was the Russians that did it in the 1950s. They wanted to recreate that super water up in the Himalayas and the Andes, up in the mountains. Well, their machine was huge. It was like massive. So the Japanese shrunk it down to countertop because they're good at making big things small. And then we, of course, took that, and we took that generation of all these plated machines that use plates, and we went to the disc, which is just amazing technology. It makes the same quality water at half the cost on the retail side, which is just awesome to me. So yeah, that's the key with this, is that our water can be used by anybody, but if they're limited in water intake, they're just going to sip it. They wouldn't get up in the morning and drink 40 ounces like I do. They just start sipping it. But I would tell that person, drink nothing else but it, because a lot of those people are still drinking coffee and still drinking milk and store-bought juices. Nah, forget it. I would only drink our good water, and limited, just sipping it, and just they can drink it all day long, but they can talk to their doctor. But if a doctor limits your water intake, I mean, that's literally telling you to stay like a dehydrated zombie. So you have to take everything that you're told. You have to look at it and go, well, let me try sipping it starting in the morning all day long. And if they notice good results and no negative effects, they can increase a little bit and then keep checking with their doctor, because we don't want to do anything that challenges what the doctor says. But we certainly don't want somebody to look at them and go, hey, Lori, let's stop drinking water for 3 days till you dry up like a prune. Like, no, thanks. I think I'm going to stay fully hydrated.
Okay, there was a question about comparing the H2 fuel with other brands, and especially ours.
Well, let me tell you, we had an other one. This one I like because when you charge the base, it'll run without charging it again. I already did 10 in a row, 3-minute blasts, and it was still running. Our old one went like 4 3-minute blasts or 5, and then it was out. And then this one has the handle on the top. So I don't really care. I don't look, hey, when I find the best, our LivingWater machine is the best machine out there, even compared to the Kangen, if you're talking cost. The amount of money per gallon that it costs to put water through this is about 3 cents a gallon. That includes, now, by the way, that machine behind me is 7 years old. Our machine has a 5-year warranty, and they mean it. And that's unlimited water going through it. But that's 7 years old, that machine there, and it's still producing super water. Yeah, it'll keep going until it completely dies, and I can probably have it rebuilt if I want. But I mean, that's what I love about the Vollara products. Our air units have been around for a long time. I've seen people that have had units made 30 years ago from our company that still fully function. My one I bought 18 years ago still works. So we're directly marketed. It has to stay working. If it doesn't work, good news travels fast. Bad news travels way faster than good news. So we have to have things function. And so that's the key to ours is the warranties. Look at them. 5 years on our water machine. That's industry best warranty on a structured water machine. So H2 fuel, you can go find whatever junk you want to online, but I buy from Vollara because they spend money to get these things working like this. This is larger. You can replace the glass if it gets broken. The lid is stainless now with a handle. This base is amazing, and you can fire it off so many times before you have to recharge it. So yeah, anybody can go online. I don't buy junk online. I do not buy online. I don't. You never know what you're going to get. It says what it is, you get it. That's totally different from what they said. I go from trusted source, and Vollara has never let me down on anything that they make. It always lasts. It keeps working, and the warranty is good because the company will be in business next week, unlike some of that stuff that you buy on the internet.
Right. You get what you pay for.
Yep.
I think, another question was, how heavy is the LivingWater machine? It's not very heavy. Would you say?
No, it's when it's full of water, it's probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 pounds. It's not very heavy. I think shipping weight is around 12 pounds or something with the box and everything. Very, very, I mean, I have a carrying case. When I first got mine, I fell in love with the water. I won't drink anything else. I will not drink anything else besides the water that comes out of there or my H2 fuel. That's it. That's all I drink. I don't know. You can argue with me, but I'll be 62. Anybody want to come and go for a bike ride or go running or swimming and have a race? Go for it. Because my kids won't. My 3 sons are like, no, Dad, we're not racing. We'll go kayaking. We're not racing. So there's the thing. I don't care what people drink. And they always tell me, come on. Because here's the thing. I've been in trade shows with this water for 13 years. I always have somebody walk up and they go, I got 20 people in front of my table drinking the water. I'm answering questions. And then somebody walks up and goes, that's all hocus pocus, right? I go, you a doctor? Yeah, I am. Of course you are. Okay, so doctor, you're telling us this is all bogus. Let me just ask you something, doc. What was the human body designed to run on for liquid nourishment after you're weaned from your mother? There's one answer. You have 5 seconds. Go. Water? Are you asking me a question or giving me an answer? Water. Okay, great, doc. Water. Here's the next question, doctor. How much water only did you drink today? Well, coffee, tea, juice, but no. I said water only, not something with water in it. None. So then I go, okay. Now, hey, doc, I'll ask Lori, what kind of car do you drive, Lori?
Well, caravan.
Lori, what kind of car do you drive?
Caravan.
Yeah.
Caravan.
What does it run on for fuel?
Gas.
What kind of gas?
The
Unleaded.
Unleaded. The cheapest one.
You see, I can get very specific. If you talk to a doctor, I asked the doctor that question. He says, I drive a 535 series Beamer. Wow, great. What kind of octane? Oh, if I can get racing fuel, I do it. I go, so wait a minute.
Yeah, right.
So they pour very specific fluid into their vehicle to get the optimum performance. But I go, if I tattooed pure alkalized ionized microclustered water around your mouth hole, would that be all you pour down it? Because why are you pouring all that other junk down your throat? You just told everyone standing at this table that the human body is designed to run on water for liquid nourishment, not Gatorade, not soda, not coffee, not tea, not milk, not juice from the store. Your body is natural, fresh, super hydrated, hydrogenated running water, not stagnant pond water. That's why if you give this water to an animal, your animal, dog, cat, horse, cow, donkey, will drink more water in the first time you set that water down than you've ever seen them drink in the whole time you've owned the animal. They recognize it as natural water. People, your grandkids and your kids and your animals stop drinking water when their tummy gets so swelled up with that big large water you give them that it hurts. And then they urinate out about 90% of that. They're like walking dehydrated zombies. You give them this water and you'll watch, I've watched animals drink 7 bowls of water, little dogs like that. They go after it like they never drank water before. And then all of a sudden everything starts working again. And that 15-year-old dog you have that can't jump on the couch will be running around with the puppies. And I do not give them people water.
All right. So yeah, you've answered so many questions, Greg. And we are just so grateful for your knowledge and your expertise on water. Right?
Lori, if you do something for 13 years and you can't figure out how to do it right, stop doing it because something's wrong. So that's it. And I learned from the questions. That's why we're doing Q&A right now. I learned from questions asked me while I've been doing this for 13 years. I have to go find the answer. But when I find the answer, that's how you learn. You learn by listening to people, responding with the best information you have, and then learning as we do. We all learn that in life, right? We just learn things in life that way. Go ahead if you want to do any more questions. You, Lydia.
pH for the dogs again, please.
Yeah, 8.5, just like people start at the 8.5. You don't really need to work them up too high, but you can. Here's the problem. If you give the animals too high pH, they'll have accidents because literally it's detoxifying them. And that detoxification happens a lot faster with a hamster or a dog or whatever. But wait till you see what horses do with this. If you know anybody that owns high-end horses like stud horses, they'll walk out with a 5-gallon pail of our water and set it down. And they'll watch a horse drink 5 gallons, right? I've seen it many times. Drink a 5-gallon pail right to the bottom and go like that. You can lead a horse to water. If it's living water, they'll drink it.
Love it. And is that horse water 8.5?
Yeah, we always start them off that way. Now, if they've been drinking it for a while and you want to try them at 9, the problem is with people, we can tell the difference. So we start off at 8.5, at least a gallon a day. Try the first week, drink nothing else but the super water. A gallon a day. How do I do that? Well, in the morning, you drink as much as you can, standing in front of the machine. Then the rest of the day, you sip it and try to get through a gallon jug. And that's where the H2 fuel comes in handy. If I want to just use a gallon, so I know my homework, I just keep pouring it in here, hit the button, and then I can put it in a cup and drink it. That's how we do that. But if you can do a gallon a day for a week, then you try to go to 9 to bump it up. If you notice any strong detox, you go back down to 8.5 for another week. What am I saying about that? Oh man, I've seen some stuff. People they break out because the body goes, oh, Liddy's finally feeding me some good water. I'm going to shove all this poison out of me. We don't want that happening too fast. I've had people call me where their lymph glands swelled up. I had a guy that had AIDS the first year I had the machine. He had AIDS, but he wanted a detox. He had a boil come up on his back that was probably 8 inches around. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. He goes, no, do you think I wanted that stuff in my body? He went and got it, Lance. I'm just telling you, this detoxifies your body to cell level. So you just have to watch your body and make sure. So if you get past the first week of 8.5 and have a little detox, but not a lot, now you can try and move to the next level. Remember what I said? At 8.5, it's a 60 antioxidant. At 9.0, it's about minus 240. So it's deeper into the cells. At 9.5, it's like minus 380. It's like, so you're going deeper into the cells and the tissue. But wait, ladies, wait till you see what it does to the skin. I mean, I've had women call me within 2 weeks, go, all the lines are gone on my face and the cottage cheese factory is closed. What happened? I go, why, don't you like it? They go, I love it. I'm telling everybody about it. So remember, it's personal experience. We're not trying to tell people what to expect. We just want them to tell us what they notice. And if they come back with great stories, you can put it in your memory bank and just tell people about it. They're going to go, if I drink this, what it'll do? I don't know. Liddy, why don't you drink it and tell me what it does for you, what you notice? That's the best way to do it. Instead of me making claims to somebody, I just ask them for their results, candid results. You'll hear more about some things about them than you probably want to hear sometimes, but it's good feedback to us to see how each person, but it will clean you out. It will clean you. I have a joke, it'll detoxify Gandhi. I don't care if you're a vegan, gluten-free, it doesn't matter, because your cells have poison in them from just breathing. This thing goes in and kicks it all out. So stuff will come out of you in the first few days. It'll be like, wow, what was that? You go, I don't know. Did you want it still outside of you? No, kick it out. And then every sip you take after that, it just keeps flushing the system out. It's amazing. Skin is the biggest difference. I can go now 13 years, no sunscreen. I'm talking go down to Florida with the kayaks with the kids and go out for 4 hours on the ocean and no shirt on, nothing but shorts on, no shirt, no hat, no nothing. You will change color. But I'm from Southern California, guys. I'm Irish, Scottish, and Welsh by heritage, which means I used to have to put nose coat on when I went to the beach in SoCal. I would get blisters and I'd get second-degree burns. Now, to Florida, my friends in Pensacola, she's a nurse, and I went down there for the 3 days that the Blue Angels fly right there at the Pensacola. That's where they do a 3 million people show up at the beach every single day. I'm out there for 8 hours, no sunscreen. My nurse friend is going, "You're going to die out here. This isn't like California or up north. This will kill you." And she watched me go 3 days, 8 or 10 hours a day out in the sun with nothing on. And all I did was change color, no blistering, no peeling. And she was like, "Wow, I never would have believed it if I didn't see it." When your skin they didn't have sunscreen, Liddy, 10,000 years ago when people were, however long ago you believe people were walking around on this earth, they didn't have sunscreen. Come on. They were outside 90% of the day, 90% of the time outside. And the sun, when your skin is fully hydrated, it reflects off that hydrated skin. Dry skin, it'll burn you right to the bone, right? So there's the difference. So notice these things, notice the skin. Women, if anybody in your family, and guys, is pregnant or pregnant, my daughter, I got her a machine when I found out she was just 2 months pregnant. She had the baby in 2 hours, her first, no stretch marks anywhere, because when your skin is fully hydrated, you can stretch it like a rubber band and it'll go right back. The elasticity is unbelievable. Bones and your tendons and your muscles and your outer skin becomes very elastic so that it won't, it's just interesting. So get that water in any woman that's pregnant, especially, and watch what happens. It's just really interesting what goes on. So it's water for everyone at all times. And I'm addicted to giving people the water because the results are just off the charts.
You're Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Water boy, that's what I am. I got some high quality H2O.
Yes.
Poseidon, you're Poseidon himself, reincarnated.
Doc, I'm telling you, man, the whole thing is either you know or you don't know. The ones that don't know.
Greg, I spent a lot of money detoxifying myself till I had the blisters and everything.
Yep.
But the stuff coming out, and I spent a whole lot of money. But to find out that I can do it with this water, this is amazing. I just got accepted. I just got a booth in the National Restaurant Association in Chicago at McCormick Place. Now, you mentioned that chefs use this.
I had a professional chef. I had a guy that was a top chef, 35 years in the profession. He called me up. He goes, "I heard you have some kind of super water machine that's good for cooking." I go, "Get over here." So what did he do? Remember, I'm a vegetarian, but I grew up on steak and potatoes, right? Meat and potatoes. This guy brought a big marinade dish with the best steak I ever saw. This was probably a $50 piece of meat. I mean, it was marbled and gorgeous, like this thick. And he brought marinade. And he mixed it with the 10 pH, and he poured it in. The marinade sucked into the meat. It just swelled up like a sponge. It was all gone from no flipping with he brought the fork to flip it. I go, "You don't need that thing." "What do you mean?" And he poured it in and it went like that. And he goes, "What the?" So he put gloves on and he squeezed the meat and the juice came out. And as soon as he let go, it went right back in. Wait till you see, Doc, what it does when you soak beans or rice, or if you take a head of lettuce and put it in a big bowl with the 10 pH, let it soak for about 15 minutes. When you roll it into your fridge, you can put it on the top shelf, not even a crisper drawer. 2 weeks later, it'll have no brown on it. It'll be as fresh as the day you brought it home and soaked it. You're super hydrating all this stuff. But imagine beans and rice. It takes half the time to soak them that tap water does. When you boil water, you can take 2 identical pots, put them on 2 identical flames or heating coils, pour the same amount of water in. One's tap, one's ours. As soon as you put the heat on ours, the little bubbles start coming up. Not like the regular water that has to get the big bubbles and it starts rolling. No, this goes boom. It's like you're up in the mountains boiling water rather than down at sea level. So remember, cooking, oh my God, unbelievable flavors out of things. It's marinating the meat, Doc, all the way through to the middle, not just the outside edges that will cook off normally when you heat it. You guys, if you use it properly, there's the people that know and the people that don't know. And the ones that don't know just haven't had access. And listen, don't make an excuse. Nobody around me has one to try. That's great news. Get it yourself, use it, and then start sharing that water, because that's how we introduce it to people. That's a problem you can solve. And how'd you like to have the only, when everyone started looking for cell phones, have the only cell phone store in the whole 100-mile radius? Yeah, there's a line off the block. Be that person that has the water machine. Use it, find out what it does, and start giving it away to people and getting the results, because we're a results-based
To stop this.
company. We don't have to hype anything we do. Everything we do is results-based. We do not have to tell people what it does. They come back going, wow, did you know it did this? Wow, Lydia, I didn't know it did that. Thanks for that. I'll go out and work on that market too. So listen to people, get their results, and start marketing, like you said, Doc, to, professional chefs and stuff. By the way, they need to serve the water, Doc. You know what we call it? The champagne of water. When it has all those bubbles in it, you go, what are the, you go, it's the champagne of water. Put it in a carafe, in a nice glass carafe, and put it on every table. You're drinking living water made fresh today. If a restaurant doesn't do that, they're off the rocker.
This is why I don't miss meetings. I don't miss training sessions.
Doc, Lydia will give you my number. We'll go over stuff, because I'll tell you what, I got the high-end spas in Northern Virginia. Right when you walk in, there's the water machine. The air units are there. They even, listen, their laundry machine was inside of but they drilled holes and they hung it on the wall outside, on the wall in the salon. So when it was running, they could see it, because they didn't want to hide it in the room. What is that? Oh, that's cleaning the clothes. Oh, Liddy, the material, the cloth that's touched to your face has never had chemicals on it. Wow. And by the way, here, have the champagne of water while you're waiting. What? See what I mean? It's like, what does that mean? By the time they're done with their session, they're going, hey, where do I get this water? Where can I buy it? Oh, no, you can't buy it. You just get one of those right there. That's the living water machine.
We definitely need to talk offline, okay? Because I got some stuff. Yeah.
Doc, I'll get you so fired up. I call it the flaming arrow. I'm going to put you in the fire, and I'm going to shoot you into the ceiling. And the whole building comes down around us, man, because
Okay. You know,
fun. Doc, we'll have some fun, man. We'll get you guys all fired up. Remember,
Craig,
Hey, Craig.
go ahead.
Craig, you hear me?
Okay, I have one more question, guys. I have one question.
Go ahead, Steve. What did you say?
Craig, I'm going to be the hammer here. We're an hour and a half in, and I'm going to ask you if you would to maybe address this one last question. What would you say to people is the best way to have them try the water? Are you giving them samples in some sort of special bottle? Do you have them come over? Do you have a loaner unit and hook it up? If you could address that, and then just for everybody knows, we're gonna close her down after that.
And one other thing,
Hey,
the recording, it's been recorded, and I will get it out to Liddy. And I also put it in the testimonial group. So just reach out to Liddy, and I will get it out there as soon as I can. All right. Go ahead.
Craig?
Great, that was my question. Thanks, great.
So repeat that, Steve, really quick.
So share with us the best way to get that living water into someone else's mouth.
Yeah. So here's the good news. If I'm doing air, I got to have extra ones, which I do. I have 10 of them, but I've got to loan them one. But you own the bottling plant with this.
Right.
So I make them come to me. I say, here's what I say. I say, Steve and Lori, hey, I just got this living water machine. It's like a fountain of youth at my faucet, and I need some feedback. My job is to let everyone try it and give me feedback. I want to hear if you notice a difference drinking it. What are you using now? I'll let you try it. And then whoever's interested, and I never chase them, Steve. Why would I chase somebody if I'm giving them free water? And I make them bring their own containers. I recommend gallon jugs with screw-on lids, not those stupid pop-top ones. They put it in their car, it rolls over, and there's a gallon of water or 2 or 3 at the bottom of their back of their car. So that's it. Bring their own containers. Let them try it. Everyone in the house, first of all, then your family and friends first. Let them all do it, because what you're looking for is feedback. Once the word gets out, you have that machine. Get ready. Get ready. And there's the key. If you owned a business, Steve, I walk into your business and I look at you, go, hey, Steve, how'd you like to increase your foot traffic by double or triple in this business? What? Yeah. Living Water banner up there. Come try our Living Water for free. You're going to get a line out the door of people coming in. They're going to buy stuff at your store that they weren't planning on buying. But let them try it. They can have a punch card for a week to try it. After that, they can either pay you for the water or they can buy a machine through you, whichever one they want to get. That's all we do. We share things. We let them try it. We're looking for their feedback. And then you always say this, Steve, if you guys don't know how to work this, you say help. If you say, hey, Lori and Steve, could you help me out? Yeah, Craig, what do you need? Well, I got this Living Water machine found underneath my faucet. I could really use some help getting the word out, but I need some people to try it. Would you mind helping me by trying it, giving me feedback and letting others know that I have this? Can you help me out today, Steve and Lori? Well, of course you're going to say yes. You know what that sounds like to people? I'm drowning. Help, help, help. Most people will jump right off the side of the boat to come and help you. Every time you ask anybody anything, ask for help 5 times in the conversation. That's what they hear each time is help, help. Yeah, Craig, I'll help. But it doesn't involve anything except for coming over, getting some free water, trying it out and giving me feedback. That's all you have to do. This is not sales. This is sharing. This is kindergarten on steroids. What'd you bring today, Craig, to share at kindergarten? I got my Living Water. What is that? I'm glad you asked, Liddy. That's how you do it. I mean, flip the switch on them. What are you selling today? Nothing. I got the fountain. Liddy, if I had a gold mine of gold and I showed you the map, you just decided not to go get it, don't cry to me if it got cleaned out by everybody else smart enough to go grab it. So that's it, guys. You have this at your house or your business, and you're letting people try it. Whoever doesn't want to show up, I feel sorry for them, actually.
All right.
All right, I'm
Very
gonna
good.
stop the recording now.
Thank you.
Where am I at? Okay.
Sure.